I was charged with first-degree murder, child abuse with great bodily harm. I had 2 different lawyers prior to Antonio, 2 different public defenders. The first one, I think it was Peter Ferrero. I was comfortable with him at first, and then he took depositions in my case, and that was too much it. But then after a while, he came to me and was like, hey, you know, we're not going to be able to go to trial on this case. And I'm like, okay, so we're not going to go to trial on this case. What do you suggest? He suggests me see if I could get some time. I was like, nah, we're going to trial. I want to go to trial. So I think the more I kept talking about trial, he didn't want to talk or see me like that. And then I had another lawyer. He came to me and told me, hey, look, man, we're going to try to get you 30 years. I was like, what? 30 years? Nah, I was like, yo, we're going to trial. We're going to try. He's like, nah, this is not a case that we're going to win. And he said it straight up. He was like, this is not a case we're going to win. Antonio was like, trial. His hand was on everything. I was doing my own homework too. And you know, the same ideas I brought to my other previous public defenders, you know, they denied me. And when I brought these same ideas and these things to Antonio, and Antonio was like, oh yeah, you've been doing your work. Oh yeah, we can see if we can introduce this, and we can see if we could do this. And he was just all over it. He was all over it. He was very confident, very. That was the scariest experience ever in my entire life. I would never want anyone to ever experience the other side of fighting for your life feels like. I mean, you're fighting for your life. Antonio, he fought for me like I was his son. Like I was his son. When the prosecutor sat there digging her face, like she was loud, just digging in my face. Like, you know, she was like, you must convict this murderer! Loud, very loud with it. I thought I was gonna lose my composure. Like I was just gonna be like, no, I did it! Like, just get off, just, you know. And I'm looking at Antonio, I'm like, yo, she's taking in my face, man. Why he's like, yo, calm down, just calm down. I was like, he was so calm. He's just so calm with it. He's very laid back. I was shaking in my bones. Like my mom, they can see me sitting there shaking. Literally shaking in my bones. And I couldn't do nothing to stop myself from shaking. I felt like I couldn't have, like I was losing myself. And I can hear my brother telling my mom, you know, sitting in the podium, he's like, yo, Mom, look, he's shaking. And I'm like, I would try to loosen up, you know, grab the pitcher of water, you know, drink some water, lay back, you know, sit back a little bit, shake myself off, loosen up, but I would shake, continuously shake. Antonio would get up. And I just remember Antonio saying, I'm gonna prove to you not only is Mr. Dorval innocent in this case, that he did not do this, that Mr. Dorval did not da da da, that Mr. Dorval da 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 da, that Mr. Dorval, he was just like everywhere. And like he countered everything the prosecutor was saying, like he was on top of everything. He didn't leave nothing behind. And I liked it, that simple fact that he would come to me and when we sit down, he'd be like, what do you think? What's good? I was like, yeah, it's perfect. I was like, it's perfect. It was beautiful. And he was like, Watson, we're gonna make this. Oh my God. That moment for me was another scary moment, because 8 hours of deliberation, 8 hours I sat in my cell. 6 years of my life. And I'm sitting here thinking, this is it. You know? There's nothing else left. everything is about done, you know. The next move is, it's if I'm going to prison for the rest of my entire life, or I'm gonna reunite with my family again. So when I came out of that holding cell for 8 hours, I was so weak in the legs and my knees and everything. I sat down. You know, normally we have to get up, and, you know, it's a tradition where, you know, the jury comes out, we stand up. I was so weak. I was weak. Like, I could not move. And Tony told me to stand up. He was like, stand up. And I'm telling Antonio, I'm like, Antonio, they're gonna say guilty. They're gonna say guilty. He was like, yo, stand up. Stand up, man. I stood up. I was like, heck, you know, it's over with. We came this far. We fought. If in my mind, I felt like if I'm gonna go out, I'm going out with this bang, you know, that I fought for I did not sit down, and I just didn't allow them to just accuse me of something that I didn't do. So I said, you know what? I fought for it. They came in, they gave the paperwork. I looked at the jury, you know, it's like you wonder what's in their mind, what they're thinking, what's in their head, what they think of you. You know, you don't know. I kind of felt like, the prosecutors was trying to get a leverage over me because, don't get me wrong, I did want a certain amount of people in my jury, you know what I mean, of colored people in my jury. But there's only one black person in my jury, in that jury box. Everyone else was Hispanic and Caucasian and stuff like that. That's what made me feel like, I can trust in the judicial system. It doesn't matter about ethnic background or who you are. Everyone was there for, the truth and nothing but that. So that deliberation came. They passed it over to, I think, to the clerk. She was like, read it out loud for the court. Like, we have the judicial system, find the defendant, Watson Dorval, count 1, not guilty. I was so I was lost because, I didn't know which count this was. I was like, which count is this? How they got this in order? Is it count 1, 2, or is the 2 the first one, or So he's like, we found a defendant, such, count 2, not guilty. I fell to my chair. Like I was so weak standing up hearing it, I just couldn't stand anymore. And I just dropped to my chair, and I held my face. I was just holding my face for a minute. Antonio's behind me. He's astounded. He's like, you're going home, man. You're going home. We won. We're going home. I'm just like this, very overwhelmed. I'm crying. I buried my face in my hand. Then he's like, oh, tell the jury thank you. Tell them thank you. I burst in tears, just telling them thank you. I couldn't tell you no more. Thank you. One by one, they left, and I could see the looks in their faces, like, you received your justice. One by one, I looked them in their eye, and I said, thank you. When I had all these other lawyers telling me that we're not gonna win this case, they're telling me this, and these lawyers are professional. They've been, and it's crazy because these 2 lawyers retired. They've been in the public defender's office. They've been in the law firm for years. But compared to them and Antonio, he's a rookie. He was a rookie. He just came in there. He's like, hey, I don't know what it was. I think he was looking to make a name for himself, and he did. He fought you know what? Nah, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna He was looking for something. Either this court didn't want me to win, and they probably felt like, we're just gonna give this case to this rookie. Let him just do something with it. They just didn't know. They gave it to a hungry beast. He wanted to win just as much as I wanted to go home. He is perfect for the people. Perfect. Listen, perfect. There are lawyers out there that would actually just probably take your case and be like, they'll swap you out. You give me him, I'll give him you. Antonio is for the people. Like, I'm gonna fight. You give me your case, I'm gonna fight. And he's fought. He didn't have to. He fought. He could have easily said, hey, we're gonna give him 30 years. Let's just get him a plea and send him up the road. He fought. Nights and days, not sleeping. Nights and days just sitting there doing work. I mean, you bringing interns after interns to help you with the same case. I told him he's my brother. I told him I love him. I told him I'll never forget about him. I told him I'm gonna always be around. He's a part of me. He's like something I'm missing, something I missed. Even when I didn't have like that figure there. He's more than like a father. He's like a big brother. He's like a big brother. Like I said, Antonio is outstanding. Is an outstanding man. When I say outstanding, he's for the people. And he will favor the people. He will favor the people. And I have no doubt, not even a slight doubt in my mind, not for a second,